money feels unstable. Your plans keep changing. And people around you seem more reactive than usual in March 2026. It's not just in your head. We've got a powerful lunar eclipse, a tricky Mercury retrograde, Jupiter going direct and reopening doors, and a fiery Mars-Rahu conjunction heating up risk-taking and conflict. This combo doesn't just hit your emotions. It hits your wallet, your career, your relationships, and the way you handle pressure and opportunity. Stay with me, because I'm breaking down how these transits can shift your finances and job situation, trigger sudden endings and new paths, and how to protect your money while still moving forward. Welcome back to the channel. Here we decode what's happening in the sky so you can navigate real life, money, work, love, and mental health with more clarity. If you like straightforward astrology with real-world advice, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next forecast. Let's get into why March 2026 is such a turning point, especially for your finances and long-term plans. Think of March 2026 as eclipse energy, Mercury retrograde energy, Jupiter shifting forward, and Mars-Rahu all layered on top of each other. Eclipse energy brings big karmic endings, reveals, and emotional intensity. Mercury retrograde brings delays, rethinking plans, and miscommunications, especially around money, contracts, and deals. Jupiter going direct brings growth and opportunities that were stalled and finally start moving again. Mars conjunct Rahu brings high-risk, high-reward action and turns ambition and conflict way up. In human life, that can look like job changes or sudden shifts at work, breakdowns in old financial patterns, old debts or money issues coming back to be fixed, new opportunities that come with strings attached, and a real temptation to act fast before you think things through. So let's break it down transit by transit, including the financial impact of each one. First, the lunar eclipse in March 2026 acts like a full moon on steroids, only it doesn't ask for your permission. Emotionally, it can bring sudden endings or decisions, realizations about what's not working, and old pain or patterns surfacing. Financially and practically, this can show up as a job or contract ending suddenly, a client relationship changing or dropping off, a major bill, tax issue, or shared money conversation coming to a head, or the realization that you can't keep spending, working, or living the way you have been. This eclipse is like the universe saying something about your foundation, how you earn, spend, or invest is not stable. Fix it. Instead of panicking, you want to move with this energy. If something falls away, work, a client, a money source, ask yourself, what was fragile or unsustainable about this anyway? Avoid forcing big new financial commitments right on the eclipse. Let things settle and reveal themselves. Pay attention to what feels heavy or draining. Often, the thing that leaves makes room for a better, more aligned source of income or stability. This is a wake-up call month for your financial habits and your sense of security. Now let's talk Mercury retrograde, especially for your money life. Mercury rules communication, contracts, information, and day-to-day decisions. During Mercury retrograde in March 2026, you may see payment delays, refund issues, or billing errors, misunderstandings around money. Things like, I thought you were paying that, or I didn't see that fee. Confusion over contracts, subscriptions, or service agreements, and old money issues resurfacing, like debt, loans, taxes, or shared finances. If you trade, invest, or run a business, expect mixed signals, rumors, false news, and overreactions in markets. This is not the ideal time for impulsive financial decisions based on hype. But there is a positive side. Mercury Retrograde is great for reviewing your budget, expenses, and subscriptions, renegotiating contracts or rates, revisiting an old project or client that can bring in money again, and fixing mistakes in your records, accounting, or systems. So here are some practical money tips during Mercury Retrograde. Double-check every invoice, bill, and payment due date. Read the fine print before you sign anything. And if possible, delay long-term contracts until Mercury is direct. Back up important financial documents. And if a past opportunity or client comes back, don't ignore it. There may be real value there. Use this time to repair, renegotiate, and reorganize, not to gamble big. Now for a more optimistic shift. Jupiter going direct. Jupiter is about opportunity, growth, expansion, and faith in the future. When it's retrograde, growth feels more internal. You're questioning your path, your beliefs about success, and your long-term goals. When Jupiter stations direct, external movement returns. Delayed opportunities can finally move forward. Projects that stalled may suddenly restart. Work, business, or educational paths can open back up, and people with resources, knowledge, or influence may enter your life. Financially, this can mean new job offers or clearer career direction, business growth, new clients, or expanding audiences. Opportunities to invest in something that expands your skills or income, and a renewed sense of, I can get ahead again. One important note: Jupiter expands what it touches. If you're organized and intentional, it can expand your wealth and growth. If you're chaotic, it can just as easily expand debt, overcommitting, or overspending. To work with Jupiter direct, revisit goals you put on hold during the harder months. Ask yourself, if I invested time, energy, or money into one thing this year, what would create the most real expansion in my life? Focus on skills, education, relationships, and systems that support long-term stability, not just quick wins. Now let's get into the spiciest part. Mars conjunct Rahu, also known as the North Node. Mars is action, drive, anger, sexuality, and aggression. Rahu is obsession, hunger, intensity, and the desire for more. Together they can feel like pure adrenaline, restlessness, and the feeling of, I need to do something right now. In human life, you may see more arguments, especially about power, control, or money. People reacting instead of thinking. And a spike in risk-taking behavior, like speculative trades, big purchases, or impulsive business moves. Financially, this can show up as the temptation to chase fast money through risky investments, get-rich-quick schemes, or high-stakes trades. Impulse spending to deal with stress, buying to feel powerful or in control. And on the flip side, massive drive to work harder, push a business, or commit to a big goal. Handled consciously, Mars Rahu can give you the courage to go after a better paying job, help you finally start that business, side hustle, or bold project, and push you to take a calculated risk you've been avoiding. Handled unconsciously, it can lead to fights over money, rush you into debt, bad deals, or financial drama, and burn you out from trying to prove yourself. So how do you manage this energy? Use a big decision rule. If it feels like pure adrenaline and fear of missing out, pause, sleep on it. Channel the energy physically through exercise, movement, or building something. Don't just sit and boil. Choose one goal that deserves this level of intensity. Don't scatter your energy in 10 different directions. Now, let's tie it all together. The lunar eclipse exposes what's not stable, emotionally and financially, and may cut off what you've outgrown. Mercury retrograde slows you down, so you can review, fix, and renegotiate, especially with money, contracts, and communication. Jupiter direct brings momentum back, offering new paths for growth, career, and finances. Mars Rahu gives you the courage to take action, but demands that you stay grounded to avoid self-sabotage. In human terms, this month can look like realizing a job or income stream is no longer right for you, cleaning up old debt or money messes, then stepping into a new, more aligned opportunity, while steadily managing the urge to act recklessly. It's not just chaos. It's a transition from one financial and life chapter into another. To wrap this up, here are 3 grounded things you can do in March 2026. First, your eclipse reality check. Ask yourself, what financial pattern is clearly not working anymore? Where do I feel constantly drained? In my job, relationships, or expenses? Let one thing go. A recurring expense, a draining client, or a toxic money habit. Second, your Mercury retrograde money audit. Go through your bank statements and subscriptions and cancel what you don't use. Fix any overdue bills or messy paperwork. Reconnect with one old contact or client who could bring value back into your life. Third, your Mars Rahu power move, fueled by Jupiter-style growth. Choose one bold but smart move. Updating your resume, raising your rates, starting a serious savings or debt payoff plan, or finally launching that project. Then pair that bold action with a grounding routine, a daily walk, breath work, or meditation, to keep your decisions clear, not reactive. March 2026 is intense, but it's not random. It's a month of cleanup, endings, and courageous new beginnings, especially around money, work, and your sense of security. Drop your sun, moon, and rising in the comments and tell me where you're already feeling these shifts. In your job, your finances, or your relationships. If this helped you make sense of what you're feeling, hit like, subscribe for more monthly forecasts, and share this with someone who's stressed about money and needs to hear there is a pattern and a way through it. Take care.